My name's Jeremy St. Rebel. All my friends call me J-Rock. And I'm one of the owners, founders, and originators of this whole tie-dye thing called Jammin On Vegas and Jammin Tie-Dye Studio. Jammin On Vegas has been here about 5 years now. You know, we've had the Jammin Tie-Dye Studio since 1991 when we first started doing tie-dye, but here in this location, about 5 years now.
My name is Ben Jammin. I am a founder and, I don't know, leader of the gang, I guess. Well, we've been tie-dyeing since 1991. We found our way on Grateful Dead tour. You know, Jerry died. We went the last 20 years, various bands touring, doing whatever we could to stay alive and to keep going. And then we ended up with a store on Haight-Ashbury called Jammin On Haight Street.
About 2010, we opened up a store out on the Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco called Jammin On Haight. And that's when I went full production, 100%. This is our label, our clothing brand, our design, and here we go. So I've been at it about 12 years now, where all my income is derived on making and selling tie-dye.
Okay, well, my name is Queen, and I started working here about only like a little over a year ago. I'm like the reverse tie-dye specialist, and I'm J-Rock's assistant, and just do everything around here. Clean the bathrooms too.
I am Lauren Dunn, and I have been a tie-dyer with them for about just about 5 years now. And I mean, that's kind of the gist there. I've been working with them for quite a while. I've actually gotten really good at at this job particularly, and that's kind of it.
I'm Brian Rice, and I am a tie-dye artist here at Jammin On.
My name is Sarah Lancier, and I'm a tie-dye artist here at Jammin On Vegas. I'm still a rookie artist. I've only been doing it a couple months, but it's really great.
So I never did art, ever, my whole life. I moved to Vegas and I wrecked my car right outside, and J-Rock was like, "You want a job?" I was like, "I guess I gotta pay my deductible." So now I'm an artist.
What's great about the Planet Order is that it's going really well.
Well, it was definitely quite a large order, but we've been crushing through it pretty quick, and you know, I think for some people it's overwhelming, but we just sit here and make it happen. It's like a basic rainbow, which is kind of the very commonplace in tie-dye, the rainbow spirals. So we're just doing everything we can to crush it out.
Oh man, yeah, we've been doing a lot of big bulk orders lately, so it's definitely a lot of work. But I kind of enjoy doing the bulk orders, just because afterwards you see like all of the product. And you're like, wow, we actually made all of that happen. So that's pretty cool to see the fruits of your labor, I guess.
Oh, the big Planet 13. Well, it's a lot of work. A lot of work. And I'm super grateful and thankful that you know, I was chosen to do it, and my shop was, because it really not only does it add a lot of money to the bottom line, but it also supports local businesses here in Las Vegas. And we get to work hand in hand with one of the world's largest dispensaries, Planet 13, and I dig it. It makes me happy.
Well, my whole life I always wanted to launder money. I mean, professionally, for real, for the weed industry, or whatever, you know, because I didn't want a 9-to-5 job. I just wanted to make cool stuff, you know. And growing up in Las Vegas, where marijuana was a felony our whole lives, and the biggest demonized thing on the planet, and for now it to be legal and on every billboard, delivered to your home, your office, wherever, lounges popping up, bars popping up, to be making an order of this size and to be getting real life paychecks from a marijuana dispensary, they can't even put their money in the banks. But they can buy a lot of product, and they can buy whites, and they can buy clothes, because the marijuana industry and culture is a lot more than just people getting high. It's a way of life, it's a culture, it's a music, it's a scene, and tie-dye just is the uniform of that whole movement overall, And to finally not be worried about getting in trouble or going to jail or, any of those negative consequences from smoking weed or laundering money. I mean, I only say laundering money because we start it white, we tie it up, we color it, and then we do wash, and we do wash, and we do wash. We just wash it all. And it's just the amount of money we can make at this point is how much we can wash out.
I'm super excited. That's like just one run. We have sweatshirts, sweaters, t-shirts, and hoodies that we're doing all for Planet 13. So this is like our biggest contract we've had yet, period. So it's a really big deal for us.
Essentially, the rainbow spiral is this right here. This particular spiral is originating from the middle of the legs. So you just twist it like that and wrap it around. And that's how you get the spiral effect. That's what makes it go the best circular motion.
Well, when I first came here just to meet Jeremy, we went and had a hamburger down the street, and then the next day COVID started. And so I just kind of stayed here as I was traveling around in a camper van, and everything was shutting down. So I just decided to stay here. And then I've helped Jeremy do a lot of stuff with the business and his family since then.
Tie-dye business. Well, I didn't really start making it a business when I first started out. When I first started out, it was just for fun. You did like summer camp tie-dye, and then I did some tie-dye, and we ended up going out to the Silver Bowl out here in Vegas and saw Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead. Sold a bunch of our tie-dyes, and I went, maybe there's a little something to this. So then I kind of followed the Dead and sold tie-dye till '95 when Jerry died. And then I dropped out because Dead had just, the whole Dead thing stopped, obviously.
Well, I got into the tie-dye business because we just got so good at it. We've made thousands and thousands of pieces. We have thousands of pieces left. But we made hundreds of thousands of pieces. We have thousands left. And now we're doing contracts for other people. Now we're doing a store in Hawaii. We have a store here. We have stores around the country that buy and produce or sell our stuff for us. It was the easiest route as an artist to get paid and to make money and to support what we love and do, and that's go see music and dress people in really cool clothing.
It was like one of the first bulk orders that I did here, and it was for Camp High. It was a bunch of knitted sweaters, and they were so heavy. When we were putting them in the soda ash, we'd have to pick them up and carry them, and I just remember my arms being so sore from picking up all of these sweaters. So that's probably the one I remember the most.
The most memorable order we completed was a Camp High order called cable knit hoodies and pants. The cable knit stuff we made, and Camp High sold it for so much money you would not believe it. It's so amazing. Yeah, it was good. And then I've got to do some t-shirts for band people, like Dead and Company band members, which is great.
I think there's been certain points where I felt like I've reached new pinnacles, and that always, to me, was very satisfying. But I think one of the best memories I have here is just the people, getting to know some of these people that are just really good people.
So my most memorable order was just one of my friends from over 10, 15 years ago. They bought my first Steely for $65, and it's not it wasn't a contract, but it just felt good that my people support me like that all the way across the country.
My favorite run that we did is back in 2016, 2017. made just a whole bunch of art pieces, art tapestries, like the one behind me. Like this, just big art pieces. And that was my favorite because those art pieces got turned into what we market even today on our koozies, tapestries, all over print hoods, all over print t-shirts, these kind of things. You know, it's the source art for Jammin'. And I'm kind of itching to make a whole nother run, so we got some new fresh source art. You know?
The year after Jerry Garcia died, the most memorable order we've really done was in 1996. Jerry Garcia, the leader of the Grateful Dead, had just passed away. They kind of disbanded it. We had a big contract going on with them, and they were trying to fill products for that year's Christmas catalog. So they asked us to make a dancing bear shirt, which was a purple bear with a green collar on a rainbow background, and then a turtle shirt, which was a green turtle inside a rainbow V on an orange background. Now, back in 1996, we charged $14.50 a shirt, and that was the most that the Grateful Dead themselves had ever paid for a t-shirt that sold for $35, the most they'd ever sold a t-shirt for. And still to this day is the only all tie-dye shirt without a print on it that the Grateful Dead have ever sold. So that would have to be my top tie-dye accomplishment job. Yeah.
It was like 2016, back in 2016, I made a run of big tapestries like these. Most of them are Dead themed. We made them so I could do source art for printed stuff that we make. Like, we make an all-over print t-shirt, an all-over print hoodie, all-over print pants, all over koozies, mouse pads, anything that we could print, face mask. We did a bunch of those, and this is the source art for them. These tapestries tend to take me solid afternoon, about 6 hours to make from beginning to end. And you know, as you can see, it takes so much just to get this in here. Like this is 30 years of tie-dyeing all folded up and tied into one. In my source art, this is stuff that is exclusive to me that I make as a tie-dye artist. And it's some of my favorite things to do is make tapestries, like the big art pieces, like really make me happy, like, because I get to see what I can do, and I have to challenge myself every time to make a different one or a different version of the same one. So as an artist, I really appreciate the work that goes into it after doing it, and then making the tapestry just unfold, so to speak, how it was in my head when I'm laying it down, you know. Because I got to take this thing, fold it in half, draw on it, and then it's pinch, 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 and string, 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 and you know, it takes a good 6 to 8 hours to make one of these things.
Oh no, we made up a thing called spiral energy, and you can feel it, and the spiral energy is strong.
Yeah, we have a really good family here. Like, we call it the Jamily, which is, you know, like the Jammin' family. But we get along, everybody gets along, everybody works. We all have our specialties, and everybody knows like what they're good at. And then J-Rock pretty much allocates who does what, because he knows how to use people for their whatever they specialize in.
One of the kids that works here is like probably one of my best friends. And I feel like, even though some of the people in there are my bosses, but it's all like very tight and close-knit. It's kind of like a family.
The crew here is great. Everybody has their own, you know, thing. It's kind of like family. It's a family business with all the family here working with you. You know, when you're here, and there's dynamics to that we all have, and luckily we all get along. Yeah.
Everybody here is awesome. They've become like my friends and my own little like family. Call them my Jamily. But yeah, everybody here is super welcoming and very nice. So it's easy to kind of get in and be comfortable around everyone. So.
I have like 4 core crew members, my brother Jammin, my brother Paulie, both co-founders. Lauren is another one, my son Alex, he's not here today, but those are like my core people. And they've been with me probably 7 to 12 years, each of them. Then I've hired on a few more. I teach them and you know, I kind of just see what sticks, who sticks to it, you know, because tie-dye isn't for everyone. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of laundry. We have a saying around here called laundry is life. If you don't like doing laundry, don't become a tie-dyer, because that's, yeah, laundry is life. It's a lot of work. It's labor intensive, gets kind of monotonous. It's not always arts. Because when you do big orders, you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And then wash, 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 wash. Do the same thing over and over again. Wash, 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 wash. Anyway, my crew that's here are the ones that stick. The ones that want to do it. The ones that find happiness in it. And, you know, stick with me and keep going. So that's what's up with my crew. Love my crew, by the way. You guys kill it.
And you can feel it, and the spiral energy is strong.
This crew is really special because it's a combination of a whole bunch of people. Like what you see here is probably, you know, 5% of what we call the Jammin family. Because over 30 years of tie-dyeing, we've taught a lot of people along the way. You know, from various stages and various incarnations. But you know, the saying is if you're not living your own dream, you're only living somebody else's. And when you're teaching an art, something like this, you can only get them to apprentice for so long until they're good at it. And then they want to get paid like people who are good at something. You know, so most of the time it's like some have hung on and a lot of went their own way and built up their own business and their own careers and whatnot. When that happens, well, we just take on a new batch of kids, you know. And right now we have my nephew that works for us that he didn't want anything to do with tie-dyeing growing up, you know. And we got a friend that's from Salt Lake City that she's here taking care of her grandma and grandpa who are retired. You know, she never would have got into tie-dyeing, but she knew us and hey, here we are. But you know, it starts with my 2 brothers, Jeremy and Paul, and myself, Benjamin, and you know, anytime, anywhere, whatever it is, we just recruit through the family and through everybody. Come on, let's get to work, you know. Yeah, jamming is doing what you love and having a great time doing it.
So if I'm not here, I host fetish balls and raves. I like to get after it. I like to have a good time. That's pretty much it though. I work 24/7. Like I go eat. I'm a big foodie. So if y'all know any good food, let me know that I don't know of yet, because that's my favorite thing to do. Social media, I got Instagram, MZQueen407, Snapchat, MZ_Queen407, and Facebook, Regina Queen.
Skating, or pretty much here working. I have a Facebook. I'm very connected with social media. I made an Instagram like 3 years ago, and I think I posted 1 picture to it. I'm like very, very motivated, I suppose, when it comes to that, which is something that's a very good platform, especially for anyone who has some sort of product they can sell. You know, I need to put myself out there more and, you know, build some notoriety for myself. But my energy goes to this place. It's where my heart is right now.
I ride bikes a lot around town, and other than that, I travel around in my camper van and go sightseeing and stuff. I ride motorcycles. I have an Instagram that's Light Waves Infrared Yoga Mats. That's my Instagram, because I invented something, so it's good.
So I originally came down to Vegas to help out my grandparents. So when I'm not here, I'm usually taking care of them and like running errands for them and stuff. But I also have 2 dogs that like I love so much, and so I'm usually just somewhere with my dogs. I like to like bring them on little walks along the railroad and stuff because I live like way out. But yeah, I'm pretty low key, just like hanging out with my dogs or hanging out at work. I have Instagram. It's just my first and last name, so at Sarah Lamphere. It's Sarah with an H and then L-A, M as in Mary, P as in Paul, H-I-E-R.
So our website is jamminon.com. 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 And you can find us down here at 1401 South Main Street. Cross Street is Imperial in the Arts District in Las Vegas. We're right by the Strat.
Well, when I'm in Vegas, I hang out here, actually. I live in California, in northern San Francisco area, Sonoma County. I have my 2 little bulldogs, and I ran away from Vegas my first time when I was 14, and then again when I was 21, and then again when I was 24. I settled in the Bay Area around 30-ish, and I built a whole another little world up there. We all grew up here, and this was always just the washing machine down here, you know. And it wasn't until they made marijuana legal and this neighborhood became somewhere with potential. Because as far as I grew up, there wasn't a lot of culture here. And until the Arts District came into effect, and until the weed laws changed, and you know, now it's growing. There's a lot of culture happening and going, but for me, it's just about downtown here. You know, I've seen all the rest of Vegas. BenjaminStrebel at Facebook or Instagram.
The building we had painted by an artist by the name of Zavi Pennington. Zavi is a world-class mural artist. He painted our Haight Street store, and he came out and painted this one, and that's why this building is so iconic and cool in the Arts District. So when you're coming in, just look for the Rainbow Building. You'll see it. Pull over, stop by, say hi, grab yourself a tie-dye, and have the best day.
Spiral energy, and you can feel it, and the spiral energy is strong. You know, that's how it goes.